Hey guys, welcome back to Little Grip Garage. This here is my brother's / mine. I don't know whose it is yet because I'm the one that trashed it, but this is the total dirt bike. I recently wrecked this. It was my first ever actual dirt bike wreck in my life. If you stay tuned, we're building a dirt bike track, and basically I sent it off the biggest jump there, and it cut power. I don't know what happened. It cut power. I noticed it was feeling a little bit weird around a few other turns, but the second I hit the lip, I lost all power, landed on the front fender, started flipping. The frame is bent, the front caliper is broken and bent, the screen is shattered, the brake lines are broken, I'm pretty sure the front rim is bent, and it's pretty beat up. I mean, the bars are all messed up and twisted, the forks are bent, I believe. And it's pretty rough. I do have a screen on the way, because that's the only thing I can visibly see that's broken. I think everything else is just kind of bent up and disconnected. So today's episode, we're going to be trying to fix this thing up, bend the frame back in place, and then possibly sell it or give it back to my brother. This was my brother's bike, and I was riding it because mine was dead. We have the same bike. So I did give him my bike. Mine's fully upgraded, light bar, upgraded chain, all that stuff. But I think that's fair because I'm the one that broke his. But we're going to let him choose at the end of the video if he wants his bike back after I fix it, or if he still wants my upgraded bike, which I'm totally fine with either, but I don't know if he wants his bike back or mine. But I'm going to show you guys the bike a little bit, show you what's broken, show you what's wrong, and then we're going to get right into it, tear this thing down, clean it up, straighten it out. So first of all, our bars are bent completely down, which I think I can fix. We have brake fluid leaking out of this cylinder, and it is completely out, and it feels pretty rough. We have our shattered out screen. Yeah, that's pretty bad. This is all bent up and there's absolutely nothing. These are squishy, but they still feel bad. These have they're just disconnected. It just broke right off. That's really messed up. So that's really messed up. Obviously, we got to clean it up because this is all scuffed up like crazy. I'm not sure if our rim is bent or not. I'm going to put it on my dirt bike stand so we can spin the front rim. But it looked like an oval when I was laying on the ground. It looks like an oval. This also has absolutely no brake fluid. And then that's packed with dirt. And then if we come back here to our subframe, it is completely kinked. This bar is supposed to be level with the fender. And it is completely bent downwards because it was flipping like cartwheel. So it smashed that down. And then our front caliper, I had to disconnect so I can drive it back up here because it was rubbing on the disc brake. So either the front wheel and disc brake are bent or the caliper mount is bent. I don't know which one yet, but I'm going to get this thing on a stand so we can actually see what's going on with our front wheel first. Alright, there we go. We got it up on a stand. Let's check this out. Honestly, I don't think it's bent. Try that again. No, it's not bent, I don't think at all, actually. So our brake caliper hub must be bent, because this wheel is straight. It's not waving, it's not wobbly. And our disc brake, our disc thing, is perfectly straight too. So I'm assuming it's our disc brake mount that is actually bent and rubbing on the tire. Because when I took off the disc brakes, they were burning hot, which means that they definitely were rubbing. So I'm going to mount them back up, see where it's hitting, and also why it's hitting. But I also think it might be to have something to do with this. I think these are squeezing the brakes, which is possibly why they're stuck, because it's basically just giving it brakes. So we're going to clean this up, I think, first, and see if it's just squeezing the brakes because there's no fluid left in it, or if it's bent. Alright, we're gonna get this out of here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm assuming our brakes are just stuck on because it ran out of fluid probably when these got squished from the wreck. If we clean this up here, we should be able to tell. Oh, there we go. Alright, throttle's looking good now. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing on these brakes. Now we just have to find our leak, because there's nothing in our cylinder, and we have absolutely nothing when we push this. I do know that this is all actually twisted because our mode switch button is all the way down here. And that's supposed to be flat like this. But I also think I'm going to loosen the bars real quick and get the bars flipped up the right way. Alright, let's see. We're going to crack these loose. If I even can. We're actually going to have to remove this first, I think. Alright, got one side off. We're going to make sure to keep these bolts so we don't lose them. I'm just going to set them back on this little coupler thing. Now we can break these loose and then straighten out our bars. Oh my gosh, how did these even move? What the heck? Oh my gosh, these things are so like bent and tightened for some reason. I don't know if I'm even gonna be able to get these. There we go. Now we should be able to adjust these back. Alright, our bars are fixed and straightened out. Now I think we're going to remove this screen. Oh. There's our screen for this. I'll keep that as a souvenir. It's pretty weird. It looks like this is like, I don't even know, some LED panel or something. So much dirt stuck in this thing. So I have a new screen on the way. It was $60, which I don't know if that's expensive or cheap, but I ordered one, so we're just going to take this off for now. You don't need a screen to ride these. Literally, all it shows you is your mile per hour and battery percentage. And then you can also like see your miles on there, but right now that doesn't matter. We're just trying to straighten this thing out and get it driving straight instead of crab walking like it is. So I'm going to remove these bolts for the screen. It's literally just 2 bolts and 1 clip. And I believe the clip is under the seat, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we're going to have to go under the seat, I believe. So let's clean off this seat, and then we'll unplug it and pull that screen out. Alright, I think there's like a little thing you have to pull under here to take the seat off. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, seat's in really good condition, obviously. We are going to take this to the pressure washer later and deep clean everything, because there's a lot of dirt everywhere and stuff. But we got to find where our screen is plugged in. So I think we're going to remove our battery real quick, just so we can have some more room to look at the electricals. I'm going to unplug this. Unplug this right here. Oh, that was actually very corroded. Like, very corroded. So I'm glad we actually took that off. We're going to clean that out. Shove these wires up there so I can pull this thing out. Alright, there we go. Battery is out. The bike just got 90 pounds lighter. Alright, everything down here looks like great condition. The controller looks fine. Now I just gotta find this plug. Wherever it is. Alright, there we go. Alright, now our screen is out. Very broken. I don't actually know if the other screen comes with this bracket. So we're going to take this bracket out and install it back on this, because I think I just ordered the screen and not the bracket. Alright, now we have the actual display off. And we're going to keep our bracket like I was saying. Holy, even this thing is insanely bent. Oh my gosh. This thing is like kinked bad. This tab is bent down and sideways. This one's bent up and crooked. So we're going to take this thing to the vise and bend this back properly, and then we're going to reinstall it. Alright, it is not the best, but it is 100% better than what it was. So we're going to mount this back up. We're going to take these off, if I can even get them off. Alright, there we go. Alright, it's not looking horrible. I do think where our front brake fluid leaked out is right here. This seems pretty kinked and bent. Yeah, that was bent bad. And I think there's a hole there, which is why we lost all of our fluid. But let's take off this cover to see what it looks like, I think. Actually, instead, we are now going to wheel this over to the pressure washer. And we're going to clean this thing up real nice, get it all cleaned, and then we're going to figure out all of our brakes. And then I think we might be good. We're also going to clean all this stuff inside, which I've never even done on my own bike. But we're going to get all this clean, and then I'll be back once we have it all fresh. This thing is actually looking amazing. I just got done cleaning it. Everything is nice and shiny. The plastics aren't damaged at all. Bars are all clean now. I got the fork straightened out off camera. Got all this cleaned. I'm going to lubricate the chain, and then we're going to start figuring out our brakes, because I think this is where they're broken. Lubricated the front wheel. Look at this. It's not bent. It's spinning good. So that's a good sign. But now I think we're going to start kind of getting into all of this and figuring out our brakes. I'm going to take off this little like wrap thing right here. So I know that we must have a leak on both brakes because none of them have fluid in them. And this bike has like 60 miles on it. It's brand new. So we do got to find the leak for both of them. I'm assuming this one's right here where this thing is ripped and it was bent. Let's take off this cover and see what it looks like. Alright, so here's the plan. This is my dirt bike, right? A little bit modified, headlight, upgraded chain. But as you notice, there's no front brake. I don't use front brake. All it does is cause you to lock up your front tire and wreck. So, I don't have front brakes, but the main reason I took them off is because my brake line got ripped because it was dragging on my disc brake. So my cylinder that goes up here, the little cylinder, is completely fine. It's just the line is broken, right? These are Bailey's front brakes, / my brother's, and his cylinder is cracked and leaking, right? But his line is fine. And then over here we have my old brakes. My cylinder is fine, but my line isn't. So we're going to take Bailey's / my brother's line, and we're going to install it onto my cylinder and mount it onto his bike. Basically, that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to have to bleed them and figure all that out. But yeah, I'm going to get to work. It's going to be a lot of work. I've never done brakes before or bleeded them, so this is my first time. But we should have these things working. Alright, we got everything back installed. If I spin the front tire, squeeze the brakes, it actually stops it, but they're not bled yet. They don't have any fluid in them. So I'm going to take it up to the shop, and my dad's going to help me bleed them, I believe. And then we're basically done other than installing the screen that we have to wait on. Alright, just like that, front brakes are completely bled and working. Rear brakes are completely bled and working. new fuel or oil in those. All the brakes are reconnected. Everything is good, except we just gotta wait for our screen to come in, and then this thing is literally brand new. So I think we're gonna be giving him this one back, but again, I'm gonna let him choose. That one's pretty beat up. This thing has like 500 miles on it. His has like 60. He doesn't ride that much, but my dad looped mine, so the fender's broken, and the sprocket is stripped out and the chain snapped. So stay tuned for fixing that. But again, he can choose which bike he wants, because, you know, I kind of destroyed his. But this thing, honestly, I would take this if I were him. But if I were him, I'd probably take this one. But yeah, now we just gotta wait for our screen. Who knows how long that's gonna take, but I'll see you guys once it arrives. Alright, we just got some parts in. It is the nicest day of the year so far. It's like 85 out right now. And also stay tuned, because I just bought a new pit bike. It's right here in front of me, but I'm not gonna show you guys yet. And then also stay tuned, because I'm ripping the pit bike on our new dirt bike track. And I've already showed you guys my track before, but we actually added jumps and berms and a whole bunch of stuff now. But I have some parts for Bailey's bike. Well, a part, the screen. Also, he chose his bike again. I came out here and I let him choose which one. And I told him, obviously, yours is going to have the screen. And he said, yeah, I'll just take mine then, since it's basically 100% fixed. So we're going to put a screen on his, get that mounted up, make sure everything works on that. And then I don't know if I mentioned this, but I stripped the sprocket on mine. And then my chain has a crack in one of the links, so it's going to break no matter what I do, basically. And it's like reverse threads, and I've never done that before. So that's going to be fun. We're going to learn that together. But we're first going to get Bailey's bike finished up, since that's my main priority. I'm going to show you guys the screen, make sure it even works, and then we'll get to work. Here's the sprocket. It says warning, Loctite, and retention nut is recommended, and this is reverse thread. So that means that the bolt that holds this on is reverse thread, which means to loosen it, I have to go right. Instead of lefty-loosey, I have to go lefty-righty. And then high performance, extreme drive system chain. I thought this was a scam, like why would I need to upgrade a chain? I actually snapped the stock chain in like 4 minutes of owning it. Like, this is the stock chain, super thin and tiny. And then if we come over here, this is the upgraded chain. It's like the size of two together almost, like a big beefy chain. And then the only reason it cracked is because it got wound up in my front sprocket. And since that's like a circle, it was just grinding it, and then it's like put a little crack in it. So we're going to figure that out later. We got to pull the whole motor and do a whole bunch of work. But I'm going to start taking off the seat and everything. We'll take off, probably just bend the bars down, and then we'll get our screen mounted up and wired. Look at that. Electron Co. sent a sticker. It's actually a really cool sticker. I'll put that on something. And then we have our new display. I'm concerned about one thing, and it is that I couldn't get the old display wires out of the frame, so I don't know I'm going to get them in the frame. So we're going to have to figure that out, but brand new display, let's get this thing mounted up. Now that we have Bailey's bike 100% done, we're going to move over to mine. We're going to get this thing pulled over to where Bailey's bike is, and then I'm just going to set a time lapse and get to work. Alright, brand new chain installed. Really nice and shiny, brand new sprockets installed. You guys saw what the other sprocket looked like. It was literally a circle. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment down below what you guys think I should do with these bikes. What content you want to see with my new pit bike that I'm going to be showing you guys in the next video. And what you want us to do with our track and other builds. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want some Literally Garage merchandise, go to viceproogarage.com. And I'll see you guys next time.